Have you guys been noticing something unbelievable? That things that currently happening in San Francisco. The stunning transformation of San Francisco into a ghost town. Yes, you heard that right. The so-called San Francisco, that once a vibrant hub, known for its iconic Golden Gate Bridge. The city is now hauntingly quiet. The hustle and bustle have given way to boarded-up shops and darkened windows. It feels like a scene out of a post-apocalyptic movie. So what happened? We've got the details for you. Restaurant and business closures have hit the city hard, leaving many storefronts with for lease signs plastered all over. Remember those packed morning commutes? They're a thing of the past. The streets are strangely empty these days. Even some tech giants that once called San Francisco home have left, leaving behind empty buildings and a trail of confusion. People have been priced out, forcing many to seek greener pastures. We'll explore the causes behind this rapid decline. We'll discuss the factors that led to these woes and examine what the future holds for this hollow city. By the way, to those who live in San Francisco, tell me whether my assessment is correct in the comments section. Let's get started. First up, let's talk real estate. Picture this. An astonishing 18.4 million square feet of space are available for lease or sublease in downtown San Francisco. That's right, enough room to accommodate a whopping 92,000 employees. It's like having 13 Salesforce towers up for grabs. It's safe to say the office vacancy crisis in the heart of the city is hitting an all-time high. But that's not all. Shopping in downtown San Francisco has faced its fair share of challenges too, even before Nordstrom decided to close not one, but 2 stores in the area. Sales tax revenue data was showing signs of struggle. Sure, sales tax isn't the be-all and end-all of San Francisco's finances, but it gives us a glimpse into how consumer spending has shifted over time. The numbers tell an interesting story. In 2022, San Francisco's sales tax revenue amounted to approximately $141 million, marking a hefty 22% decrease from the $181 million generated in 2019. Of course, adjusted for inflation. And guess what? Downtown sales were hit the hardest, continuing to grapple with the pandemic's aftermath even 2 years later. Let's break it down further. Revenue from businesses in the South of Market neighborhood took a nosedive, plummeting by 34% from $21 million in 2019 to $14 million in 2022. Meanwhile, the Financial District, or South Beach area, known for its bustling commercial scene, experienced a 30% drop from $41 million to $28 million. If you're enjoying this video, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. But what caused this? Let's explore them one by one. Reports have shown that this year alone, the police have responded to a staggering number of incidents, including 74 petty thefts and 30 cases of grand theft. Oh my God! That's a lot of stolen goods walking out the door, and it's not just small items. We're talking about significant losses for businesses in the area. In fact, just a few weeks ago, a Whole Foods store nearby abruptly closed its doors due to safety concerns for their employees. It's no wonder they had to take such drastic action when you consider the regular emergency calls they were making, ranging from medical crises to assaults. Tragically, in September of last year, a man even lost his life due to a drug overdose in one of the store's bathrooms. This is a stark reminder of the drug crisis gripping the city. And speaking of safety concerns, last week, a Walgreens store near Westfield Mall became the site of a fatal shooting. It's quite disheartening to hear that a private security guard allegedly resorted to using lethal force against a shoplifter. How can San Francisco turn into this? These statistics and incidents paint a troubling picture of the quality of life issues that San Francisco residents are facing. It's been years, but the city of San Francisco is still feeling the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic. One of the most visible changes in the city's landscape is the surge in empty offices. Compared to 2020, when the vacancy rate was a mere 4%, there are now plenty of options for tenants looking for office space. This shift has also sparked discussions about repurposing these vacant offices into housing or incorporating exciting features like bars or rooftop decks into the workplace. The emptiness of some buildings can be directly attributed to the cutbacks made by tech giants like Salesforce and Meta. These companies, seeking to reduce costs, have resorted to finding new tenants to take advantage of the available spaces. In addition to changes in the commercial real estate sector, the pandemic has had a significant impact on San Francisco's housing market. Home prices have skyrocketed during this period, making it increasingly challenging for residents to find affordable housing options. The combination of remote work and the desire for more space has driven up demand, pushing prices to unprecedented levels. While these levels are beginning to decline in early 2023, they still remain unaffordable to most folks in San Francisco. Salesforce, the largest private employer in the city, has fully embraced remote work and is capitalizing on the vacant office spaces. They have listed their offices for lease at various locations, such as 50 Vermont, Salesforce Tower, and 350 Mission Streets. Similarly, their subsidiary Slack has left its former headquarters at 500 Howard Street, which is now 95.4% vacant, and has listed sublease space at 45 Vermont Street, where 60% of the space remains unoccupied. While the tech industry and major corporations have adapted to remote work, the impact on small businesses in San Francisco has been more challenging, with office workers mostly staying away from the area. Even before the pandemic hit, many local retailers have had to close their doors. The absence of foot traffic and the subsequent decrease in customers have made it difficult for small businesses to stay afloat. With all this happening, the cost of living has skyrocketed for those who call San Francisco home. The recent inflation has had quite an effect on people. The cost of goods and services has been steadily increasing, and it's taking a toll on everyone's wallets. From groceries to transportation, everyday essentials are becoming more and more expensive. It's hard to keep up with the rising prices while your paycheck stays the same. Businesses have also begun shutting their doors left and right. Job opportunities have dwindled, and incomes have taken a nosedive. When people don't have money in their pockets, it becomes increasingly difficult to keep up with the rising prices of goods and services. And let's not forget about the interest rates. I seriously hate this. They've been climbing steadily, making it harder for businesses to secure loans. Without the necessary financial backing, many businesses are struggling to stay afloat, and some are even forced to shut down. Individuals are also grappling with high insurance costs, whether it's health insurance, auto insurance, or even renter's insurance. The premiums seem to be creeping up every year, and when you're already struggling to make ends meet, these added expenses can be a heavy burden to bear. One of the most visible consequences of this rising cost of living is homelessness. According to records from the San Francisco government, thousands of people in the city are currently homeless. This place supposed to be the richest state in America. And while shelters provide some relief, they are not a long-term solution. While it's true that home prices have experienced some dips, that doesn't necessarily mean things have gotten more affordable. Recently, the Federal Reserve Bank of Atlanta revealed its assessment that San Francisco is currently at its most unaffordable point in at least a decade. However, there is optimism and potential for a bright future on the horizon, with one of the pressing issues in San Francisco being the rise of open-air drug markets and related crime rates. The governor has taken action by calling in the California Highway Patrol and the California National Guard to combat this problem. With their combined efforts, there is hope for a reduction in crime rates and a safer environment for residents and visitors alike. Despite the economic impact of global tech layoffs, San Francisco managed to weather the storm better than many other cities. The city's unemployment rate remains relatively low at 3%, higher than the previous year, but still significantly lower than historic trends. The city's chief economist believes that having vacant office space is preferable to having a large number of unemployed people. He predicts that office rents will drop, leading to increased tenant demand and an eventual economic recovery. Fortunately, the drop in office rents is already happening, with prices for lower-tier buildings hovering around $50 per square foot, well below the citywide average. A principal at a real estate brokerage also anticipates a market inflection point where rents reach a low before bouncing back. While there is currently a divide in the market, with tenants favoring high-quality spaces, there is potential for a rebound in the biotech, finance, and educational sectors. With these pillars in place, there is optimism for the emergence of new opportunities and economic growth. As Slonik highlights, trying times often pave the way for innovation and progress. The president of venture capital firm Y Combinator also sees potential for San Francisco's rebound, drawing upon the city's rich history of overcoming adversity. The mayor of San Francisco is also actively pursuing policies to address pressing issues like homelessness and drug dealing. Plans are underway to expedite the construction of new homes and apartments, with a focus on providing accessible mental illness treatment. While challenges still exist, San Francisco has a track record of bouncing back, with concerted efforts from government authorities, the business community, and visionary leaders. The future prospects of San Francisco remain promising. With all the things happening in San Francisco, do you think that Texas would now be the richest states in the U.S.? Watch this video and I'll see you there shortly. Before I forget, have you clicked the subscribe button? It is here just to let you know